So I built this app last year and grew it to 100,000 downloads in 6 months without a budget. And after watching this video, you will understand how to grow any app to 100,000 installs without spending any dollars. So this video will be broken down into 2 chapters. The first part will be all the essential knowledge that you need to know to grow a mobile app in 2025. And the second part is how I grew my app to 100,000 downloads and for free last year, like the whole journey walkthrough. So part 1, mobile app in 2025, how to grow it and the essential logic. So mobile apps in 2025 is like e-commerce. Don't think about it like a software. Don't think about it like a unicorn startup that will go IPO. It is very unlikely to happen. Instead, think about it more like a e-commerce business that you will see on Shark Tank, like Scrub Daddy, right? So you buy a Scrub Daddy sponge on Walmart, and then you use it, and if it worn out and you still like it, and then you will buy a new Scrub Daddy. That's how they make money, and that's how you spend the money on Scrub Daddy. So very similarly, mobile app is like commodity, just like Scrub Daddy nowadays. It's like a goods to be sold on supermarket, but instead of like selling Scrub Daddy on Walmart, we have selling an app like Duolingo on App Store. It's a commodity. It's like a goods to be sold to the consumers. It's like selling clothes. It's like selling like Stanley cups or like selling a fidget spinner on the internet. Imagine how you are selling a fidget spinner on social media, right? So you have a fidget spinner product and you make a bunch of videos about the fidget spinner. Or you don't even have to make videos. People will make videos about fidget spinner, and then people who find those videos on the social media feed, they would watch your videos and they think that, oh, this thing is pretty interesting. And they click the link in bio on that page. Likely it leads them to a Shopify or an Amazon checkout page, and then they buy the product, and the product is delivered 2 days later to their door, to their front door, and then they can just use it. So very similarly, that is what's happening in the mobile app landscape these days. You would have an app, and then you would have a lot of content or just any ways that you can put your app in front of people's eyeballs. And then people saw the videos likely on like TikTok or Instagram Reels, and then they think the app is interesting. And then they go to the link in bio of that page, and instead of like an Amazon or Shopify checkout page, now they're going to an App Store product page. They watch the description and they install it, and then they go through the onboarding, and then they will be prompted to start a free trial or pay directly, and then they pay for the product, and then they can use it instantly instead of like waiting for 2 days. And if they like it, they will continue to pay for it because it is useful for them. If they don't like it, they will churn or they will request a refund. Just very similar to how you're buying e-commerce items these days. So if you're building an app in 2025, learn from the e-commerce guys, learn from the drop shippers, because they are the OGs of how these kind of things works. And there's 2 types of apps that can grow: utility apps and social apps. I have only built utility apps so far, so I won't cover much about social apps. For utility apps, it solves a specific problem, like tracking calories, like quitting porn, women beauty routine, color analysis. The utility should inevitably lead to an innate human desire. Like tracking calorie, what we just said, leads to, it's basically just health. Quitting porn is also about health, and then beauty routine is about beauty, and color analysis is also about beauty. If you're building some like a news article bookmarking app for university students, it's not going to work because you can't reduce the problem that your app solves into a very innate human desire. By the way, that's the app that me and my co-founder built as the first project back in 2021. It failed. And so yeah, social app on the other hand, it encourages sharing. So That's it. It encourages sharing. That is how it grows. It seems not to really make sense because sharing is the means to an end, right? But actually here we are just talking about the growth logic. So utility app grows because it solves a problem for the consumers, and then it can make a margin. That is how it grows. And then you can reinvest your margin on marketing channels and growth channels. That's how it works. And for social app, it grows because people share it in order to use it. The sharing is embedded to the usage itself. And it is so interesting, or the app itself is so interesting that you just can't help sharing to your friends and ask them to use it, like BeReal, like Logcat, or like TikTok, Tinder. All of them are social apps that relies on sharing to use. And so if you're building a social app that doesn't really incentivize the users to share it, and then you're relying on people to come back daily to interact with each other, then there's not an engine to grow the user base, and it's not likely to work. There's a term called K factors. So it basically means how many new users will your social app brings in for every single new user. And the higher your K factor, the faster the growth of your app will compound. So since I've only built an utility app, I will only talk about my experience from the utility app perspective. But actually on the marketing channel or content perspective for growing my app, it could also be applied to a social app. It's also what people have been doing for social app as well. So to recap, in 2025, app is a commodity. You need to sell it to earn a margin on each app. And speaking about margin, you need to understand CAC and LTV. So CAC means customer acquisition cost, and it means how much it costs you to acquire a new users for your app. So this applies if you are running ads or like influencer campaign. And if you're doing organic growth, like short form videos, which I will cover later on, your CAC is basically zero aside from your own labor and time cost, which is beautiful. And your LTV means lifetime value, which means how much revenue can you earn from paying users throughout its life cycle. And say an average pay users will use your app for say 3 months, and then until he churns or cancels. Your monthly subscription price is $5 each. Then your average LTV is $15. That means you can earn at most $15 or on average $15 from one paying users. That is a very important math because you can calculate whether you can scale your growth by comparing your LTV and your customer acquisition cost. But of course you still have to account for costs like text and app store commission, which is typically like a 20% for new apps. But excluding that, if your LTV is $15 and if your LTV is larger than your CAC, you are profitable. But again, in this video, I'm not talking about too much on CAC because our budget is basically zero. And lastly, the very important concept you need to understand is channels. So many people don't understand what even is a channel. So channel means ways to get users. And this is also just an e-commerce terms. Channel means how you get people to buy your products, to distribute a product. So short form videos like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, they are a channel. Meta ads is also a channel. Search ad is a channel. Influencer sponsorship is a channel. ASO is also a channel. The only difference between channel is CAC. So organic short form videos and ASO probably have the lowest CAC that you can find for mobile apps. And meta ads have higher CAC. So you may ask, then why are people still using high CAC channels like meta ads? It's because there's a growth ceiling and scalability issues in low CAC channels. Like for Rise, we use organic short form videos as the main growth channels, and we managed to grow to 100K more in installs, but it kind of just flat after that amount because you just have like a ceiling for every channels. But if you use like Meta ads, then there's not much these kind of scalability issues. So that's why, since our goal is just to hit 100,000 installs for free, we'll only focus on the organic shorts channel. And that leads to part 2 of this video. Alright, so part 2, I'm going to share how I cracked the organic shorts channel for Rise. And so this will all be just a very factual walkthrough of what I did last year for Rise. And let's get started. So first of all, organic shorts means free and homemade, in-house owned internal short form content. Organic basically means free in my dictionary here, and inorganic means sponsored, it is external. So shorts means TikTok and Reels or YouTube Shorts, right? And the reason that shorts is so important as a channel for mobile apps these days, in fact, you could find basically any channels other than like Meta ads. No. And you can find that basically any channel other than ASO relies on short form videos distribution. Meta ads, inevitably you're just talking about like a Meta ad reel, or like TikTok ads, or like sponsoring influencers. What they make, they are just making TikTok videos, right? So the reason that short form video is so suitable for mobile apps is because the attention span design is just perfect enough for you to sell a product, and then so perfect enough for you to integrate something into the short form videos, and the fact that after watching the video, you can just install it right away from the link in bio of that creators or that page. So the journey from exposing to a product or a marketing material to getting the product is so smooth, much smoother than e-commerce product. So that's why it is so important to master how to use short form videos as a channel for mobile apps. And that is also why the stock price of AppLovin have grown so ridiculously high these days, because mobile apps business just managed to grow much faster, much more efficient, because short form videos as a channel or as a paradigm is also developing so ridiculously fast these days in last 2 to 3 years, because the algorithm became better and people have a better internet access and their phone became better, so they can watch more videos, they have more screen time. So back to the topic. I actually made this video on how to make viral videos on Instagram easily for your app, and it covers some factual methodology I used. So please watch this one, and I'm not going to cover methodology in this video. Instead, I'm going to talk about how I applied those methodology to Rise last year to give you like a walkthrough. So now I'm going to talk about what exactly happened to me last year, on how I make a Rise go viral and how I approach going viral for me last year. So there's 5 steps to use organic short form videos for your app. So firstly, you have to start an app official Instagram page, and then the second is to come up with 3 to 5 content formats. The third one is to start posting once daily, and the fourth step is to double down on what works and move away from what didn't work. And the last step is to keep evolving on your content format and strategies when you hit a marginal return. So here's what happened for Rise. Those who don't know, Rise is a self-improvement app that gives you a 10 weeks program to improve your life. And so my target audience are people who need self-improvement and who need to get their life together. And so by understanding this, I need to further break down what kind of content would my audience watch on like Instagram or TikTok. And so that's the part where you have to come up with content formats. So content formats basically means what kind of videos would go viral or would have people enjoy watching on Instagram or on TikTok that is also relevant to your niche. So the way to find content formats is very simple. Just become your target audience by following people who your target audience will follow. If it's self-improvement, then follow those self-improvement gurus or pages. If it's like you're building a beauty app, then follow like beauty creators. And then try to see what kind of content you would be recommended on Instagram feed or TikTok feed. And then what you have to do is try to conceptualize them into different categories. So for Rise, I managed, so here it is like March last year, I was planning what kind of shorts I'm going to make. So I, in the end, have sorted out 4 kind of formats that can be made for Rise. For example, I will have the app official page with some POV videos. So this one, it means you can just check out this product. So they are an Instagram page, and then they just have a hook and then a recording of their product. And that's a format that they will be looping for an entire year without changing anything. And that works for if your product is aesthetically pleasant. And that's also what I try to design Rise into. And then we have anime style clips and shorts. We also have like a black and white motivational edits and clips. And then we have more creative cinematics, film footages, motivation content. So I identified this short content format because I try to become my target audience. And in fact, I am my target audience. So that's what you need to do as well for your product. Try to come up with like 3 to 5 content formats that you can make content from. So then the next thing is you should try to come up with, just start to come up with content. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about your product. For example, like this, among these 4 content, only this one is directly relevant to your product. And these are not directly relevant, but you should somehow integrate your product to the content. And I actually made a mistake here. So you see that in these 4 short formats, only this one is about my product. And if I can do it again, I won't bother to run pages that is not about my product, because it could be appealing to my target audience, but in the end, I could not use them to distribute my product. So this would be a waste of time. And so if you really can't manage to find some format, you can just start with an official page and making POV videos. But there's also a lot of other formats that can sell your product while it is not a POV videos. For example, like street interviews. For example, like what's that called? Like a skit, and still run these pages, but try to incorporate a product in some of those content. That will also work. But the point is just to come up with content format. And the next thing that you want to do. So now I'm going to share with you how my content format changed and evolved during last year. So here, this is the first ever post of my Instagram page. So it's March, the 1st of March. I haven't even released the app yet. I was just testing content format. So this kind of content was really like a viral those days. You have a film footage and then a read caption content. And you see that I didn't even talk about Rise, because back then, this was not even called Rise App.live. It was called something like Rise.self-growth. And the logo, I made a new logo other than my app logo, because I want to build a theme page, and then I can occasionally promote my product there. So all this content, they're not about the app. And then this is cinematic edit. And it got some likes, and there's a huge blockers for growing a real page. Is that initially you don't get any traction. So the cold start problem, people say that you have to warm up your pages, but sometimes it doesn't even work if you warm up. So my take is just to start posting as soon as possible. And if you're lucky, for example, your IP doesn't really duplicate with your previous pages, you can get some organic view pretty nicely in early stage. Like I have another page earlier that is running simultaneously with this page. I think in the first 3 videos I already got like a couple thousand views, and they are just some really nice anime edits. But it got banned somehow because I was using anime footages. So it could happen. And for my experience with Rise, this page, is that all this content, it didn't really have much views until one meme reel. After that reel, I got like a 40 million reel view, and then everything just stopped working. So here you see not relevant to Rise, not relevant to Rise. And for example here, I started to realize that I can't be just making these kind of edits, right? Like this one, I use 66 days, so it's kind of relevant to Rise right now. And I actually show a POV footages. And this one, this is not even about self-improvement. I don't know what I was talking about back then. But it still got some likes. Yeah, it still got some likes. So here, I started to realize that I need to be using my app footage. Like this one is bad, but I don't get much views anyway. So then I talk about habits more often because it's more relevant to my app, and I use like these tasks is also something about my app. And then I still don't get much view. So what I did next is that I tried to just steal video from TikTok that went viral to test if is something wrong with my page or if the content itself. Because if you steal a very viral video on TikTok and then you put it on your page, if it doesn't go viral, and it's very likely something wrong with your page, because for example, this content, it got 82 likes. In the previous one, it got 29 likes. And then this one itself, it is a very nice video, so that it went viral. It's not about your page anymore. So this one as well, it got 92 likes because I also stole it from another TikTok page. And that's why I keep testing new content. Like this one, I made it myself, it's not good, so I only got 6 likes. So then there is a tipping point where I started this I launched this, I posted this reel. So this is actually from my brother and Labib. What a cool guy. So Labib is building this MMA fighting AI trainer app. Amazing product. And then I use their reels as inspiration often. And matter of fact, don't be too ashamed to steal reels, because I got stolen a lot from other pages. Like I think Kyle also got some inspiration from my content some occasionally. And so it is just fine. You should keep evolving. That's why I use the term evolving. You can steal people's content every day. That's fine, as long as it works for you. But likely it won't, because the algorithm is so sensitive to novelty and originality. If you're copying, maybe it will work for one time, but you would not be as thorough as the original creator for sure. And so this one, I saw that, holy shit, it got 32 million views. How come? And I stole it and rewrite the script for Rise, and then it just works. It just works. So then I realized that, hey, I try to conceptualize why this reel work much better than my previous reel, right? So I figured out that this is a meme, and people really liked meme in general as a social media content. And if Kyle have been using meme so much as a content format, maybe Kyle and Rise is kind of in a similar niche. Maybe I can also use meme. So I started to make more meme. Camera just died. Doesn't matter. Let's continue. So I started to make memes that is similar to Kyle, or just meme in general that is relevant to my product. And I think I posted the Kung Fu Panda meme somewhere like here, and then I see, holy shit, I should make more memes. And then this one is a meme. It didn't really went viral. And then I started to post more meme, and by that time I think this format was really popular those days. Like yeah, so I made this meme, it also went viral, and then it just took off, compound interest. And all the audience that you gathered here, and then all the content that you posted before, it will have some ripple effect. Like this one, this is post before the Kung Fu Panda meme. But people who saw the Kung Fu Panda meme, like right here, they find my app and then they watch my other videos. It was just like 10 videos I've posted by then. Other than the archive one, because some really stupid videos I will archive them. And then this one, this is another content format. It's called POV videos. It just have a hook and then show your product. And then it also gets a lot of traction here then. And then these are the two formats that I was keep looping at that time. And then this is a meme, kinda meshed with a POV format. And this is a POV format. And then POV format, meme, POV format, POV format. You can see that each is the same format. Once you found a format, you can just loop it, and people will comment. This is a comment automation, also another way to get more traction. I really encourage you to do that in the early stage. So this is POV videos, I guess, kind of like a POV videos. Yeah, but yeah, POV videos and the meme. These are really cheesy, to be honest, like very cheesy. But it just work. It just kind of works. And sometimes I would be testing new formats. This is a rating format, I would say. I have a rating screen or like a screenshot on Rise and turning it into a funny little story. I pretty like this one. I don't know, there's a watermark here, but it didn't really work, right? comparing with other videos is severely underperformed. So this is also POV videos, and I was just keeping looping meme and POV videos, and I started to feel the bottlenecks. For example, here I will be still posting like POV videos, but there's some bottlenecks already. Although it got 1,000 comments, but it's not really that much converted because by then I haven't have Android version yet. Most of the people are Android users who really want the app. So you can see that the likes have been there's so little like already comparing with the comments. So I have a feeling that POV videos is starting to have marginal return. That's where I have to test new format. So then I come up with this idea. This is called I call like a screenshot format. Basically, make a feature in your app that is very interesting. You can just make it for distribution actually, and then turn it into a screenshot, or make a screenshot of it, and then add captions or add interesting storyline that can be turn the screenshot into a story and then make it a reel. That's it. So I started to make it, test it. Didn't really work in the beginning, but you have to just test the caption. It's all about the hook. And so this one, it get a lot of views. So then this format started to work. So I just keep milking over it, and I actually have like also be posting some POV videos occasionally to and just keep testing, and then you see, and by here the view have also declined a lot, like 16K or 14K. So this was like a short peak, and then it didn't work much afterwards. So I still test it, but it's still pretty bad. So then I was testing other formats, like this one is like a four grid. So this is very hard to categorize. I would say that it's like between a meme and like a POV videos kinda. And so here's another format that I kind of made. So it's like a, what do you call it? Like a dock on your main screen. So putting 4 apps here and then put a caption. I think this is something that every app can use, but it really relies on novelty. Like the first couple guys who started this format like myself could rip the profit from this format. But if you are like latecomers, like right now, if you still want to post it, it's not gonna work. So then I started to test new formats like this format, a 4-grid habits format by my very good friend Jack. He created this format, but it didn't really work out for me, I would say. And then I tried to switch my format to, now it's like somewhere between memes. It's just very much memes right now. But these days I'm also testing new formats like a book quote. I can't really come up with ideas on how to like make this a long-term thing, because only this book quote works. Like this quote and then this quote is very similar. Book page is very similar, and they both work. But other pages like these doesn't really work. So now I'm still evolving and making new content, but there's so much content that you can make basically. So you just have to test it and find the best way for yourself. Yeah, I think that is basically all the things that I can cover right now. Watch the video that I made last year on how to make reels. I think that would be very helpful to you. So if you have any questions, drop a comment. I will answer them one by one. Good luck.